Question 6. Is Sam a good dad? Is Claire a good mom? How would each handle things differently if their families were reversed? Are their parenting styles similar to those of their parents? Why or why not? What kind of parent do you think Brittany would have been and why?
Okay, so on page 11 it said but playing with Max was one of those things I was supposed to do. So I think that Sam knows that he needs to be a good dad and take care of Max and do things to provide for him. But I think that if Sam was in Claire's position, it would be a lot easier because he'd have more resources to take care of him.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, I feel like they're not the best parents, but they try their best to what they have. Claire has his mom and dad, but Sam doesn't. He only has his dad. And also on page 12, it says how when they were playing, Max was laughing and it made him crazy happy. So like Allie said, he knows that he's supposed to make him happy. So I don't know if he sees it as a chore or not.
I agree because you can tell if someone's a good parent by the interactions between them and their kids. I think it shows a lot on page 182. After the hospital when they Sam and Max didn't see each other again. Max is reaching for Sam. He's this is my dad. This is my comfort. You can tell he values his dad.
Yeah, and I think they're both good parents, but Claire is more controlling her mom, where she said her mom is always telling her what to do at age 115. And I think she always does that too, with the customs.
I think that if their situations were reversed, if Claire had Sam's situation and Sam had Claire's situation, he would be a lot better, like Tanya had said, able to provide for Sam or Max better, as well as help himself have a better education because he'd have a better opportunity. But I think also Claire would then be a lot more understanding with Sam's decision, because she said, she's I don't understand how you could give him up and all this stuff about all that, and she's coming from her mom, looking at all these articles for her and always telling her all this information. And then I think that Brittany would have been super strict with her kids and made a bunch of their decisions. So if she kept Max, he would have had a super authoritarian parent.
I think, kind of going off of what Allie said, I think Sam is a good dad, but he's just not ready to be a full-time father. And also about Claire, she's a really good mom, but she gets a lot of help from her mom. And I think if Claire were in Sam's situation, she might be a worse mother because she doesn't have as much time for herself, which I think is what keeps her a good mom and in a good mood. And I think Sam would really benefit from having parents like Claire's because he would be able to do things with his friends, which is what he misses the most. And I feel this way because on page 73, he thinks to himself, he wishes he had that much help, when Claire's mom was oh, I found this article and stuff, and she didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I agree with you how he's not ready to be a full-time parent because we all for at least I babysitting for a couple hours, but I can't imagine having a kid for the rest of my life pretty much and having to play with him and feed him and all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with what Kate said about Brittany being an authoritarian parent. On page 129, that's when Brittany stated that her mom was kind of calling the shots on all the parenting and that they were moving. So I feel Brittany kind of grew up with her mom making her decisions for her. So I feel Brittany as a parent would kind of go off what her mom does and kind of be a huge not necessarily even a role model, but just kind of decision making for her kid.
Yeah, and I also feel if Brittany was the parent, she wouldn't care as much, and probably her mom would also work.
I agree with what Sarah said. I said an interesting quote was you see this throughout the story a lot, on page 94, 95, when Claire and Sam are going to the park, the old lady says to them, "What beautiful baby." She said she looked at Claire and me. "Are you babysitting?" Then Sam says, "Yes." I nearly blew her up. And Claire said, "Oh no, there are." So it seems Sam's almost he tries to be a good father, but he's he seems he's almost embarrassed to have a baby because in high school, while Claire takes pride with it almost more. And I said similar thing to what Allie said, Sam tries his best, but his dad, since his dad shuts him out, he doesn't have a lot of help, so that's why he has a hard time with Max. And then Claire gets a lot of help from her family, that's why she does well with Emily. I think if their roles were reversed, it'd be the opposite. Claire would probably be in Sam's position, she wouldn't be getting a lot of help. She wouldn't have to do like sometimes what Sam was. Then if Sam had more help, he'd know what to do.
I also mentioned page 94 when her and Sam were, when Claire and Sam were at the park, she like popped open the stroller and Sam like didn't know how to like open up the stroller. And I feel like parenting just comes way more naturally to Claire than it does to Sam. And like Sam like tries to be a good dad, but like it's just like not as natural for him. And then on page 108, Claire bought Max and Sam costumes, so like she like tries to be like a good parent and like thinks of others. So I think that she's a better parent than Sam is.
I understand why you would think that, but I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that Claire is a better parent than Sam, because Claire has a lot more support from her family than Sam does. And also on page 130, when Max gets his hand cut, Claire was the one that was supposed to be watching him. So
I agree with that. I think that if Claire was in Sam's position, she wouldn't have like things so easy, and like she'd be more grateful for like the things she like got, because like Sam doesn't get that much. And I think that Sam's a good dad, because on page 11 he says like Allie had he was supposed to be playing with him, and it was like on the list of things to do in his bedroom. So that just shows like Max is like really important to him, and like he wants to like be a good dad to Max.
Yeah, I think going off of what like Allison said, like Sam really like gave 100% effort in like trying to be a good father to Max, and I think that was a part of the reason why he ended up giving up Max, because he kind of like gave his all in his effort like every single day, and it kind of like drained him out and kind of made him realize what he misses about his normal life that he used to have. So.
I think Sam, for what he's given, he's a very good father. Like obviously Claire has way more like options about what to do, like how to take care of the kid. Like if she needs some alone time, one of her family members will take care of Emily. And then also like on page 25, like it's when all of the other parents at the school, like not like necessarily criticizing him, but like thinking he has no idea what he's doing, and like he says like I'm sick and tired of everybody like knowing what I should be doing. Like he clearly knows how to take care of a kid, but he's just not ready. He's too young to take over that role of parenting.
Do you guys think that if Claire would have been in Sam's position and Sam would have been in Claire's position, things would have gone differently? Like, do you think Claire would have given the baby up and Sam would have kept it?
I think that if she was in his position, she would be a lot more sooner.
I agree, because Sam like, I don't know, he kind of like shows Claire's being like super needy, and he kind of is like, when her and Sam like, she's always asking like, what's wrong with Sam? And like, I feel like if she was in Sam's position, she'd be like, she'd feel like helpless.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd necessarily give up the kid, because she's very proud of Emily. Obviously, like, she doesn't have to deal with as much stuff as Sam does. I don't think she would do as well, but I think she's so proud of Emily that I don't think she would give her up.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, because like towards the end, like when Max kind of told Claire about his decision to give Max up, I think she was really kind of like the optimist, and like kind of had hope to like keep her head up and like keep going. And, like, I think that's what her attitude would have been like if things were the other way around.
Do you guys think that's like the turning point of their relationship? So like that made them like break up or something?
I feel like we don't really know if it is or not, because we don't know like how their relationship went afterwards. Because that's like one thing that really bothered me about like the end of the book, is that we never know what happened to Claire. Like it just kind of happens. Like Sam tells her that she's giving up Max, and then we never hear of Claire again. So I think it probably was a turning point in their relationship, but like we don't know that.
I think that Claire like felt like threatened that he was giving Max up, like because she didn't really like say anything, but you could tell that she was like really angry about it. And like I think that the reason she really liked Sam was because they both had kids, and like they were both in a situation together. So I think that like him giving Max up like made her feel like he wasn't gonna stay around, so she had her own way.
Back to Sarah's question, like, yeah, I think that like if like their roles were reversed, like the family roles, like if Sam grew up in like Claire's family, he'd like know what to do as a father more, as compared if Claire had like this one parent and that shut him out all the time. good of a parent as she would.
I disagree with what Jake said, because I think that if Claire was in Sam's position, like she would have like a really hard time like with only having like one parent around and like not getting like all the support from her parents. And I feel like she'd like give up way more easily if she only had like one parent.
I think addressing the question of whether Sam and Claire are good parents, I would say I think what I said was that I think that's kind of hard because good and bad are pretty subjective. I think for teen parents, they're very good, and I think like obviously they're better parents than lots of the parents we read about in the last unit. So
I think that Sam's the best parent that he could be in his situation. Like on page 11, after school and everything, he takes the time out of his day to like run around with Max and like, no, it's done. And play chase the baby and like try to keep him happy.
Well, and also I feel like a big thing is that Sam is like always with Max, you know? Like he's constantly with Max. Max is his responsibility. Like, yeah, Aunt Jean helps, but like Sam's the main person that takes care of Max. Whereas like Claire said, she always has to fight for time with her baby because like she's got her mom, her dad who loves the baby, and like the sister who's always trying to babysit. So she's like has other people taking the time to help out with the baby.
Kind of like going back to if we think that Brittany would be a good parent, I honestly think she would have been a bad parent if she decided to keep the child. I think this first because she doesn't seem like she really can like when they're in the hospital, on page 105, she can't hold the baby and she doesn't really seem like she knows what she's doing, even though it is right when it was born, but like Sam even was picking up on like how to interact with the baby, and also she's kind of running away from her problem, I think, when she moves. And that's just not really a good characteristic of a parent.
All right.
Hmm?
Stop it.
Oh, stop the time.